Whether you've been at it 20 years or are brand new on the job, managing a Skyline Chili restaurant is certainly a real challenge, and it's a challenge different than managing any other type of restaurant. I'm Jay Schatz, and today we're going to talk about how to face that challenge and meet up to it. And here to share some of their experiences with us are some very experienced people. Jeff Cornwell owns and operates the Beckett Ridge store. Doug Zhang is from the Highland Heights Skyline. Denise Collins manages the Escort store, and Pat Brown is from East Main in beautiful Columbus, Ohio. Pat, we're going to pick on you first. We'll start with you. Why is managing a Skyline so different than managing any other type of restaurant?
Well, I think what we need to be successful at Skyline, we have to have all the operational skills. We have to have all the bases. What's different about Skyline, now we move in and we have to be Skyline time driven. We have to instill in our employees what we're trying to accomplish. The thing that's real important for us to realize is there's a lot of places for people to go have lunch or dinner. And there's a lot of places for our employees to go and work. I know, so the only difference between working for Skyline and somebody else is the way we make them feel and the way we act.
The key to managing a successful Skyline is performing all the operational requirements well, while creating a warm Skyline time atmosphere for customers and employees.
What is the Skyline time experience that we talk about so much?
Customers come first in Skyline, and that's what sets us apart among all the other restaurants out there.
It's genuine. You got to feel it in your heart.
You have to have a feel-good about your restaurant.
You let them feel that it's their restaurant.
We want them to be a part of our family.
That's a pretty neat thing to have in your job.
The atmosphere of enjoying being
Hi guys,
there,
how you doing today?
greeting people, saying hello, having fun.
The Skyline time experience means customers feel recognized as individuals. Service is genuine, from the heart. Customers feel like family. Service is high energy, yet comfortable and relaxing. And finally, Skyline time means a fulfilling experience, where Skyline people make the real difference.
Well, let's talk about the manager's role in creating that Skyline time experience. What do you guys do to really create that experience?
We really have to set the attitude for the restaurant. Whatever we do, our employees follow. So a lot of times what we have to do is have to keep that positive attitude and realize that we're going to have the best attitude in the restaurant. And if we're having fun and we're going out and showing that out in the dining room and in the front of the restaurant, then our employees do, and it just makes a good overall experience for everyone.
I think it's important to select the right people and make sure that you have the pieces to your puzzle. Outgoing people is what we're looking for.
You have to make sure that everyone's on the same page. That's pretty key. You can tell when things aren't flowing well. You need to get everyone on that same page, and I believe teamwork. You have to have a crew. It goes back to the selection. You have to have a crew that's willing to work with each other, get everyone on the same page to achieve that goal of making it an experience, that's only unique to Skyline time.
I think it's sincerity. I think it's making people feel how you feel, and it's genuine and honest. And it's not some rehearsed spiel that we have to give. It's a sincerity.
Denise?
He used my word. It was genuine. Smile and mean it. I mean, I have a passion. I like to talk to the customers as they come in. I like to get to know their kids. And quite frankly, I enjoy them coming to see me. You got to feel it in your heart.
Creating the Skyline time as the manager, everyone follows your cue. You're the leader, and you're the one that needs to expose them to the Skyline time and the smiles and the good time that they're going to have choosing our restaurant.
The manager's role in creating Skyline time includes leading and modeling Skyline time hospitality, selecting potential service and production pros, training employees so they have the skills and confidence to deliver on Skyline time, creating an environment that's fun, energized, and enables Skyline time to flourish, being the employer of choice.
how does a new manager make that connection with a customer that they don't even know? Let's go around the group a little bit and come up with some solutions.
A tactic that I like to use is the children. I will go out and I'll talk to the children. I'll get to know the children, ask them if they're married, even if they're sitting in a high chair. Ask them if they're married, got any boyfriends yet, and that always, kind of breaks the ice, and you start getting to know the people.
Denise, any advice for that new manager trying to build that connection?
Well, during your table touches, obviously, you're in the dining room at this time. I think it's important to introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Denise. I'm the store manager. Everything tastes good for you today. Let me get you a couple refills. How are you two? My name is Denise. I'm the store manager. I just thought I'd say hello and just kind of get to know them. You could talk about the weather. You can talk about anything.
We use the term, touch every table. That's when you get to meet them and know that they have 3 kids. They're in grade school. They live in the area, and that's the main thing. That's what's unique about Skyline. If you see them pulling in a lot, you know what they get, and you have their 3-way and their pop there, their 5-way and their pop there. It gives that extra special touch.
I know.
And sometimes with a new customer, you may have seen them for the second time. It's okay at that point. Didn't I see you in here Tuesday? I do. My name's Pat. I'm the manager. What's yours? It's not a place to be shy.
If you're shy, need not apply.
That's how's the chili today?
Well, it's very good.
Great.
Introduce you to my coworker, Greg Adams.
Hi, Greg. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And the new manager sometimes can have the advantage of their staff teaching them these new people as well. Because a lot of times, if you're going into a new operation, your staff has been there, they know the guests, sometimes they'll just introduce you to them.
Yes.
So it can be just that simple as well.
Okay, but you guys are all talking about the good situations. Really, a critical part of your role has to be handling those bad situations.
Yeah, in case there is a problem, we can hear it firsthand and correct it right away. Sure.
We go so many different places and so many different restaurants, and we hear, was everything okay today? To be a Skyline manager, when you ask that question, listen to the response. Don't just ask, was everything okay today? Well, what's that mean? How was your chili today? Were your conies good? And if they weren't, then make them right. Make them good.
We know that you always order 3-ways. I'm sorry. Let me get that right away, okay?
We want them to know that we appreciate them being there, and whatever it takes to make that customer happy is the most important thing we can do at that point.
Yeah.
And customer loyalty really is the backbone of everything you guys do.
Right.
Sure.
Our goal in handling any kind of negative situation, a lot of people will stop at making them happy before they, when they leave, they want to be happy. The goal is to get them to come back.
Making the customer connection means building relationships, cultivating regulars, remembering customers' names and their orders, doing what it takes to make sure they return.
We've talked so much about the customers. Let's go back to the employees, and I know that building loyalty among your employees is so important. Why is that so important?
50 employees and 100 jobs. We have to be the employer of choice. We have to treat them right. But it's the right thing to do, too.
You want them to come to work. It goes back to positive reinforcement.
Right.
If they're having a good day, tell them. Say, Susan, you are having a great day. I saw what you did. You took care, of little Bobby Joe. I think the positive reinforcement to the employee is what makes them want to come back and come to work with a smile on their face.
Great job, guys. Keep it going. Everything's going
Now,
great.
what can you do as a manager to really get that training process off to a good start?
It starts with the morale. You have to have a good morale in your restaurant. You have to have a feel good about your restaurant so that your employees, when they come in to train, feel comfortable and feel welcome and see a nice positive attitude in your restaurant.
I think we need to invest appropriate amount of time to teach them the job and teach them right. Give them a mentor, somebody that they can follow, somebody that they can learn the job from.
Cross-training, which is very key in Skyline because there's times during the rush that we talk about that you need to be cross-trained, and that helps promote teamwork.
I think you need to make sure that you communicate to where they are. Because most of the time no news is good news, but to a younger person or even to another manager, you've got to let them know where they are so they know what to work toward.
Especially as a trainee. I mean, it's important for any employee to know where you are, but for a trainee, it's critical.
We may feel that they're doing really well in one position, they may feel that they're not. So it may mess up their focus. So it's very important to communicate and give them feedback.
They can get a paycheck anywhere, but when they come to us, hopefully we know about our employees. We know about how they live. We know about how many kids they have. We know the different situations. And it's important that we create a family atmosphere for employees, and in turn, they create that family atmosphere for our customers.
Let's talk about recognizing employees and how you make them aware that you're happy with the job they've done and kind of put them in a frame of mind where they'll keep doing these good things again and again. How do you do that?
I announced the mystery shop scores in the presence of the employees, employees that were involved in the mystery shop while everybody is around. So it really pumps them up, and it's amazing because it seems like just as soon as we set one score, and then another one comes along and it's higher.
We got 100. Let's see. Now wait a second. Well, let's see if we got we even got the bonus questions. We got both.
We buy a birthday cake for each person on their birthday, and it just makes them feel, again, important.
What about making them aware of some of the goals, the sales goals, and any of the other goals that you have from a management perspective?
You want to let them know what your goal is so they feel a part of the team. We can accomplish a lot more together.
I like to tell them that, hey, we're up over last year, and it's not what I'm doing, it's what my employees are doing. That's the reason, a company is only as good as the employees.
Let me pick up then on how you turn just an average employee into a service pro. What are some of the things that you can do to really boost that employee and move them up to the next level?
Recognition, people really crave recognition, and sometimes it's a matter of finding the smallest thing that they did right to start the snowball rolling.
Maybe if we added some shelves up in the top, we could get some of the stuff out of our way.
I've heard some managers talk about empowering their employees. What do we mean by that?
We don't want our employees to feel like they have to come to us for every little thing in the restaurant that happens.
I think empowerment is giving them not only the right but the responsibility to make decisions to take care of our guests, and then us as managers backing up that decision. And they're not going to make the right decision every time. And when they don't, then we become teachers.
We have a team of servers that works a rush or throughout the day. What better person to come up with a floor plan or a side duty list or to organize their week? It's their week. We don't do this. Let them come up with the ideas, because when they have the ownership, not only will it be done, but it'll be done right and well.
Well, you let them feel that it's their restaurant. The restaurant's only as good as they are.
If we can tell them, look, this is our Skyline. We're the best. We deliver the Skyline time better than any other Skyline or any other restaurant in this area, and give them that sense, then they really pick up on that and really will want to be the fastest. They'll want to be the best,
right.
and they'll do it.
Build employee loyalty by treating employees as you want them to treat the customers, recognizing them individually, rewarding exceptional performance, sharing restaurant goals and results, empowering team member ownership, and creating growth opportunities through personal development.
I want to go through a quick list of what you as a manager should be doing to get ready for that rush. What are the things you should be doing?
I think the first thing you have to do is make sure your aces are in their places. Make sure you have the right coney guy, the best coney guy at the coney station, your best three-way guy at the weigh station. Make sure your waitresses are in the dining room, your dishwashers are in the dish room, and make sure that everybody's where they need to be.
What else?
And it's important to have all your stock ready and to its backups levels, and you got to make sure you have the right utensils. You have to just be ready.
You have to do a walkthrough of your restaurant. You have to make sure everything is done and is ready and it's in its place, so you can see what the potential problems may be and address them then before you get busy, and really look at your restaurant as a whole, evaluate and make sure everything is ready to roll.
Now, when that employee arrives for work, what should you as a manager be doing, and how should you be greeting that employee?
Just like a customer, just like a guest that walks in your door. How you doing, and I think it's important at that point in time to let them know what they're doing. We have a lot of cross-trained employees, so they feel in the know.
If you see they look like they're having a bad day, ask them, is everything all right? Is there anything I can help you with?
It'd be a good time to re-emphasize on, like, maybe the day before. Maybe they had a great day the day before. So maybe, you know, kind of push it along and make them feel good about themselves before their shift even starts.
Pump them up.
And by calling to their attention what they've done well the day before, you're really setting the stage for what they should be doing.
Hey, the place looked really good last night. You had a really nice close, and everything looks super this morning.
Thanks, Jeff.
Is the rush the climax of the shift or not?
No. The climax of a manager's day should be prior to any rush.
The setup.
They should be setting up, stocking, getting things in order so that when the rush hits, we can worry about what's really important, and that's taking care of the customer and being able to spend the time to go out and take care of the customer and do the things that we need to do.
To prepare for the rush, have all product in stock within arm's reach. Perform the manager's walk and make corrections as needed. Talk employees into position. Get your aces in their places.
Now, when that rush hits, what exactly should you guys be doing?
We orchestrate, you know, where the people sit. We orchestrate the food getting out. We orchestrate, you know, waitress.
I think the rush is almost our reward for getting ready for the
I
rush, if
agree.
that makes sense. You know, because once the rush is here, we've prepared our day, we're ready to roll now.
We should be able to float and be able to go to different locations and help out and help direct people to the areas we need them to be at to keep the Skyline time going, to keep the customer satisfaction at its peak.
And you also have to keep your employees at your peak. Give them that little boost of energy. Hey, you know, that three-way, it looks just like the menu. Or, you know, I heard you upsell a coney to, you know, Mrs. Jones over there. That's what you need to do. You need to keep your employees at their peak so they don't have a letdown during the rush.
Well, it's a good time for us to be looking out at the tables and making sure that everybody's food was made right. A lot of times you can tell just by their plate. You know, if you see somebody that hasn't even eaten their food, talk to them. You know, some people won't even tell you what's wrong. So it gives you an opportunity to maybe fix some possible problems before they leave.
What they're talking about, I think, is using just every sense that you have. You know, what are you hearing going on? What are you seeing going on? Who are you directing? Did you hear the drive-through person? Did they upsell? And if they did, kudos to them. Because during the rush, now we're doing what we just got warmed up to do. And if you're telling them to do this, and now you're reinforcing it during the rush, then they've heard it twice, and they can believe that that's what needs to happen.
And I imagine it's part of keeping them on the message. Politicians talk about that during the campaign, but the message obviously is you want to deliver Skyline time, so you in the middle of this organized chaos need to remind them what you're all about. I've heard the phrase that you shouldn't have your head stuck in the chili crock. Now, I know that's not a literal phrase. Now, certainly as a customer, I would like to have my head stuck in the chili crock. But as a manager, you're not supposed to do that. Explain to me why that is so important.
If a manager has his head in a chili crock, he can't see what's going on in the rest of his restaurant. He can't see the drive-thrus being backed up, and he needs to put resources there to take care of that. He really is so tunnel visioned that he really can't see anything else going on in the restaurant.
I want to get a sense of really what's in it for the manager when we talk about the need to go stopping by the tables and making that connection with customers. What does the manager get out of that?
Well, most of the time you get some real positive feedback from your guests. You know, it gives you I don't know, it's a little bit of icing on the cake. You know, you've done all the prep work, you've busted your butt all day. Now you go out and you talk to them, and they tell you that it was all worthwhile.
How are you today, sir?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
Great. Chili good today?
It's fantastic.
And that's a pretty neat thing to have in your job.
When they feel good, you feel good.
Absolutely.
During the rush, the manager should orchestrate and provide direction for the crew, build customer relationships, maintain overall awareness of everything going on in the store, gravitate to trouble areas, and keep Skyline time at its peak.
What happens after the rush?
That is one of the most critical parts of a manager's day, because after the rush, people tend to want to exhale. That's the time they want to sort of relax and not do anything else. And those are great opportunities for us to take care of the customers that are still coming through the door at that point. And that takes a concerted effort on a manager's part to make sure that we don't let down at that point where everyone else wants to. let down.
Excellent points, and boy, I'd stop by any of your restaurants.
Coming out of the rush, the manager should keep Skyline time in focus. Head for the dining room, not the dish room. Keep building relationships with late lunch customers. Direct post-lunch activities through WIN, What's Important Now. Talk employees out of position. Give feedback. Celebrate the team's accomplishments. Your success as a manager revolves around serving great-tasting food and providing top-notch service in a clean environment. But most importantly, your success comes from the special experience you create for your customers and employees. Now it's up to you to make it Skyline time. The rewards of your efforts will not only be found on the bottom line, but also in your personal development, now and in the future.
Here's one important point as we wrap things up. Skyline restaurants that make that emotional connection with their customers, that deliver on the Skyline time promise, often do twice the sales volume of stores that don't, and often have half the employee turnover. Our thanks to everybody on our panel here today, and thanks to you for watching.